and subscribe right now, or this will be in your bed tonight.
Hello and welcome back to ProRevenge. Before we start, please scroll down and click the like and subscribe button. This means that you will get more videos from me. Thanks if you have done this, as it really helps me out and is free. You have also made my day. Short but salty, here's a short story I pull out whenever someone wants a good high school story. Back in high school I was dating this guy. D. Now D was a real douche, but I was young, dumb and in love. One day D and I are hanging out in my bedroom and he forced me to blow him. Normally I'm all for giving head, but not with my parents and siblings home and a doors open rule. The blowjob doesn't last long before he's finished. He zips his pants and pulls me up on the bed with him. Petty revenge is instant as he leans over to kiss me, and I promptly spit all his spludge into his mouth. He left pissed, and I didn't see him until school Monday. Here's where ProRevenge comes in. Because we're dumb kids and sex is on everyone's mind, it wasn't too hard to steer my female friends into talking about cum flavors during lunch. Of course all our boyfriends/hookups are there, so after this conversation goes on for a while I turn to D and go, I don't know D, what do you think? Cue the rest of D's high school career being known as a cum taster. He had to date/hook up with girls from other schools after that. Edit due to comments. Some commenters are discussing why I would still hang out with someone who sexually assaulted me. At the time I was 14 and he was 16. I don't think either one of us quantified this as assault at that age. He didn't date anyone from our school after word got around. Don't know if that was specifically due to him forcing me, him kissing me after a blowjob, or him getting a taste of his own cum. Kids are weird and cruel. Case in point, I thought this was disgusting back then, but now I couldn't care less. Screw over your employees. Don't be too shocked when your dirty laundry starts catching up to you. Reposting this now that I have sufficient karma and whatnot to not get auto-moderated away. Crap, I think I accidentally deleted this when trying to delete my cross post to comply with r/nuclear revenge rules. So I need to keep this somewhat vague to maintain anonymity. And I wasn't there for all of it. This mostly happened to my friend, who was one of the employees screwed over. But I did what I could to help my friend get revenge. Friend of mine was employed as a barista for a coffee shop with a couple of locations. Well, the owner turned out to be a grade A scumbag. Started paying the employees with bad checks, not giving them their tips if they were paid on a credit card. Obviously he couldn't steal their cash tips, not that he didn't try, things along those lines. He was, of course, stealing from the business to fund his own lavish lifestyle. My friend was pissed and quit shortly after this nonsense started, and of course the business shortly went under. But if that's all that happened, this wouldn't fit in ProRevenge. Now, my friend was out a few $1,000s. I'm not sure exactly how much, but enough that it was a serious hit to their budget. And they weren't the only one. This creep was the classic con man, writing checks to cover the bad checks. All the delay tactics you ever see. Oh, the bank must have messed up. Just redeposit it. And of course it comes back as a bad check a week or two later. Lots of shady stuff. But he was a good con man. All told, 8 people were getting screwed over too. I found out later, in excess of $20k. So one afternoon, my friend is telling me this story. How he's so sick and tired of being conned by this creep, as well as everyone else. And here is where the ProRevenge part begins to come into effect. I start digging into the business owner. All public record stuff, and some of it I learned from my friend or their coworkers. But started to learn a lot about this scumbag. He's got multiple felonies in his past. I'm all for giving people a second chance, but this guy wasn't that old and had racked up easily a half-dozen felonies. Why he wasn't still in jail is a topic for a much different forum. One of his convictions was for being a felon in possession of a firearm. He was currently on probation for the above conviction. This is where things start getting interesting. A little more light digging, and I come up with the name of his probation officer. When I sat and talked to my friend about what I had found out about his prior employer, 2 cycles of bounced checks was enough. He happened to mention that he had seen firearms in his apartment. They'd hung out together socially before things went completely pear-shaped. He'd used his girlfriend to purchase firearms since he was a prohibited person. Straw purchase, yet another felony. So now as things get really interesting, I put my friend in contact with Scumbag's probation officer. Turns out when you are out on probation, there's a lot of things you're not allowed to do. One of them is commit more felonies. This is an automatic revocation of your probation and will land your happy little butt back in jail. Oh, and knowingly passing bad checks in our state for the amount he was writing them for is a felony in and of itself. 8 employees, 3 payroll cycles before the business officially went belly up. 23 felony counts of passing a bad check since my buddy bailed at 2 cycles. Repeat offense of being a felon in possession of a firearm. As if that's not bad enough, when his probation officer came a knocking to check on these allegations, he also found drug paraphernalia and drugs sufficient to get him for possession of controlled substances with intent to distribute. Multiple different drugs, so multiple counts of that too. For those keeping score at home, if he was convicted of all of these counts, he would be looking at roughly an additional 30 felonies. Easily enough to keep him in jail for a *very* long time. Now, if this were petty revenge, that's where things would have stopped. But no. You see, the state has this fund that all employers pay a tax into. It's a fund for those situations where the company goes out of business, writes bad checks for their employees, etc. And it's administered by the state labor board. So they pay out to cover the lost wages, but not the lost tips of the employees. But the state is not benevolent in this. Oh no. You see, in order to attempt to recoup their losses, they can seize company assets. And in the case of a poorly set up company with no separation of assets between the company and the owner, they can also seize personal assets. Oh yes. That shiny new company truck that you're towing your shiny new boat with. Guess what, scumbag? They now belong to the state. Your bank accounts? Yeah, those belong to the state now too. Now surely, you must be thinking, surely this is now pro-revenge, right? Oh no. You see, this scumbag messed with my friend. And I don't take kindly to that kind of nonsense. You see, my friend learned throughout this process that on top of all this, his former employer was committing tax fraud/evasion. As far as the employees were concerned, they were all straight up W4 employees, meaning he was withholding the correct taxes, payroll taxes, Medicare taxes, etc. Except he was reporting to the eyes that all of his employees were independent contractors and wasn't actually withholding any taxes at all. Taxes for the company? He was fudging those so badly they should have been sold as brownies. Unfortunately for Scumbag, a friend of a friend happened to work for the local ICE office, and after sitting with him over drinks one evening, found out that the ICE has a tip line for reporting tax evasion. And depending on how it's reported, well, turns out that the person reporting the tax evasion may actually get a small percentage as a reward for turning in the tax sheet. So on top of facing 30 some odd felony charges, on top of having all his personal and company assets seized, Scumbag now has the ICE chasing after him. That, dear readers, is pro-revenge. Edit. Holy crap. My first silver, gold, and platinum. Thank you generous redditors. I will definitely update this as more developments come in. I can say that because this scumbag is such a scumbag. He is currently sitting in jail awaiting trial for domestic assault on his girlfriend. My friend and his co-workers have been interviewed by local police and the probation officer, as well as the ICE and the ATF, for the straw purchases of the firearms through his girlfriend. My understanding is she's made a deal with the ATF to avoid charges for the straw purchases in exchange for her testimony against him. The DA and probation officer are waiting for him to be sentenced on the domestic violence charges before they go after him for all the other stuff. That way he has to serve the sentences consecutively. As far as the federal charges, who knows when those will be filed. But my understanding is that no matter when he's charged, he'll have to serve the federal time after his state prison time and won't get any credit for time served in the state pen. Edit #2. So surprise surprise, the scumbag while out on bail for his domestic violence charges, our county is stupidly lenient on letting people out with ridiculously low bail, decided he didn't need to show up for his arraignment. So he has a failure to appear warrant on him now. Plus whatever other charges he's still facing. We know he's in our local area still, as he's been seen by acquaintances of my friend. They've all been told that if they see him, they're supposed to call 911. Thank you all for watching to the end of the video. But before you go, please like and subscribe for more. Not many of you all that watch are subscribed or like the video, and this makes me unsure if I should continue to make more content or not. So if you want more content, please like and subscribe. If you don't want to miss out on any future videos, click the bell icon next to the subscribe button. Also, please give me some feedback in the comment section about what I can do better, because not many people comment on my videos, so I have no idea of people's opinions of thoughts about this YouTube channel. So yeah, that's all from me. If you have subscribed and liked the video, please consider sharing the video with your friends. Thanks and bye. I'm still doing daily uploads, so hope to see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.